the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Prince Uche Secondus, has blasted the ruling All Progressives Congress APC for trying to politicize the killings going on across the country under the watch of President Muhammadu Buhari and his administration. Those are the allegations of the PDP chairman. Prince Secondus said the APC should put up to their failings and stop playing politics with what is clear to all discerning minds. Let's now move to our story of the day. The federal government says it will commence disbursement of the recovered $322 million Abacha loot to 302,000 poor households in 19 states in July. The government is funding its social investment program with the money which is part of the money looted by former head of state, Sani Abacha. So how simple or complicated will this be? This is how the government officials say the money will be disbursed.
Because of some logistics issue, we are making a payment of as a cycle. January, February, then we'll come to, at the end of February, we give you 10,000 naira. And the program is designed that there are so many trainings that will be given to the beneficiaries.
Nobody is going to give anybody any cash. It's going to be through a payment system, an electronic payment, which we want CSOs to verify.
The federal government acknowledged the receipt of the sum of $322 million into a special account of the Central Bank of Nigeria on December 18, 2017. From the Swiss government, and the Swiss government too says they have some clarifications on the looted fund and their efforts so far. Listen to them.
Of the Abacha family that were hidden in Switzerland were full repatriated in 2005, 722 millions. The 322 millions that were repatriated in December last year were money that was frozen by the Swiss Attorney General, but was not in Switzerland, was in other countries, mainly in Luxembourg. For possible new cases, I have two remarks. First of all, the Swiss legislation since the 1990s up to date have fundamentally changed. The law in Switzerland does not allow any more bank secrecy.
So let's get to the matter tonight. What does this mean with all of this money, the way the federal government hopes to spend this money and the issues on the ground, especially a government that says it wants to fight corruption? Tonight on the program, to make sense of all of this for you, if you are a worker, wherever you may be in the country, if you work for your state and you're expecting your salary and perhaps it has not gotten to you, you have a very important piece of information that will be dishing out to you tonight on the program. So sit tight, everyone, and let's get talking. My partner tonight, Mr. Olanrewaju Suraj, is a rights activist, also a chairman of the Coalition of Group Against Corruption, and also a financial expert, and the executive director of financial derivatives, regular analyst on Channels Television, Mr. Bismarck Rwani. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time on the program. Let me quickly come to you, Mr. Suraj. What does this mean for Nigeria? We've been talking about Abacha loot for a long time, but Swiss governor said, look, we've returned all the Abacha loot with us. If you're going looking for all other Abacha loot, look elsewhere. So far, how does this look?
Well, it is looking really good, actually, because it's taking more than 20 years, you know, like 25 years to actually get these monies that are both in the possession of the Swiss government, the Luxembourg, and other countries, where we can conveniently classify them as safe havens for looted monies and money laundering for past government officials. This is also a very good warning that it shouldn't be business as usual for those who are in public office and those who we can call politically exposed persons. But I should say that we had a very terrible experience when the Swiss government initially actually returned $500 million to this country between 2004 and 2006 under the former president of Olusegun Obasanjo. And from our investigation, about 70% of that money was actually relooted again. They were meant to be spent on projects. And from the investigation, projects were fictitious projects. Local governments were not existing on Nigerian maps. And some of the projects were commissioned, money were released, they never took off, you know.
So the looted, Abacha loot were
was actually
relooted.
related. So,
but nobody has caught anybody on this one.
Yeah, interestingly, the EFCC, because after we did that investigation, we had a video recording of those locations where we visited and where those projects were never existing and even in existence. And we did a comprehensive petition to the EFCC. That was part of the investigation where the EFCC is saying the former finance minister, Okojo-Iweala, would need to come around and also explain some of the things that happened because she was the Minister of Finance at that material point in time. Unfortunately, also, I heard the Swiss ambassador saying it is not going to be possible, or he should rather have said, not going to be easy for people to launder money through their financial system again, because it still happened like 3, 4, 5 years ago. We have monies from the likes of Kola Aluko, Dieziani, and a couple of them moving to Switzerland specifically.
Allegedly?
No, not allegedly. Confirmed to be in Switzerland. And that is part of the Mareva order that was gotten by the EFCC and the Office of the Attorney General across the Federation, including in the US and the UK, where Dezia, Nicola Aluko, Jide Omokore, and their assets and properties were actually temporarily forfeited. That is also some of those resources.
But the fear is going to be, this money, just like you mentioned, under Obasanjo, where all of these issues of alleged relooting of the loot, is this not going to happen again?
Yeah, I think it's a bit better, unfortunately, because the whole arrangement then used World Bank as a monitoring mechanism. And World Bank is not on ground across the Federation. And World Bank also failed heavily by not also reporting some of the failure of that utilization of the fund. As a matter of fact, World Bank gave clean bill of health to both the federal government and the utilization of that fund as at that time. But now you can see civil society are monitoring. Civil society are getting engaged. And we're not going to wait till when the money are either completely utilized or lost before issues are raised with the government. But under this one, we must actually engage the government. And you can see how they were trying to give explanations to how the process would be utilized. And then that is also going to be a monitoring opportunity for both the media and the civil society to engage.